Okay, so this is my tree here. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a piece of pipe that is going to fit in there as snug, you want as snug as possible. The only problem then is if you get a tree next year that's even bigger, then you're going to have to make another. So this one fits pretty snug, but general rule of thumb, if it's like the bigger the pipe, like the more tight it fits, the less pipe you need to hold it up. If it doesn't fit very tight, you're going to want more pipe just so it is more sturdy. So we'll go cut this now. We'll cut it about here. If you don't have a chop saw, you can use a grinder or whatever you have that can cut pipe. I'm just using that because it's meant for that. And that's just the best tool for the job. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to take this to the bench grinder and just take all these burrs off, then wire wheel it. Do it on both sides. Okay, we got those edges smooth. Those burrs off there, you're not going to cut yourself. And now we're actually going to grab a bigger pipe than this one. So if you wanted to, you could just take this pipe, shove it on there like so, then weld a base on it. But then you can't really feed, then you can't give the tree water. If it's a fake tree, you may as well do that. But this is a real one, so I got to make an outer layer so I can put water in there and water it. Okay, I got my outer layer of pipe here. It's shorter than that, as you can see, so I grabbed this other piece and I'm just going to weld that on. Now it's a little shorter, but it's fine. Weld it on that seam, and yeah, we'll take all those burrs out of there and clean it up as well as we did with that pipe. Okay, I got the pipe here. I got it just sitting on the vise, just like so. And I got a piece of welding wire in there. Just filler rod from a stick welder. It's pretty thin, and that will just be my little gap. And then I'll weld up that gap. And yeah, then we'll be on to the next step. Okay, I'm at 20 volts and 230 wire speed, and we'll see how that works, and we'll just experiment with it. Okay, so that's not hot enough. But, like I said, it's a Christmas tree, it don't really matter. It's not very structural. And two will become one flush. I went and grinded out a few spots where I was humped up, and then I just wire wheeled it. This one spot here, you can see I got a little bit hot. Went down a little bit, but it's fine, don't matter. And then if you really wanted to, you could get a die grinder and clean up your penetration in there to make it look really good, but I'm not going to do that. On to the next step. Okay, the next step for this is to drill a bunch of holes in it, because what it's going to do is it's going to sit in there, your tree will sit in here, and then you'll fill this with water, then you'll have a whole bunch of holes and it'll just go right into your tree. So we'll put a whole bunch of holes in there with the drill press. We'll take that buffing wheel off and do that. And yeah, I don't know how many holes. Oh yeah, and then with this, you want to move this little handle all the way back here. So if this binds up, it's not going to fling around and hit you. So with that, hitting that. And then, if you're using a bigger drill bit, then you probably want to drill a pilot hole. What I mean by that is just a really small drill bit to go through, because you'll have a much easier time starting it. But I think this drill bit, I might be able to do it without. There it is, and we're done. Okay, the next thing we're doing is we're going to be cutting the plate. So if you wanted to, you could just cut a square or a circle here, and make a cap for this piece, and then cut 2 legs going like this and an X and make it look nicer. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it right here and right here, make it flat, and then just weld it here, and it's fine. It's just for my room. I don't really care that much, so we're just going to do that. It'll be a lot faster. Okay, I cut those edges off, wire wheeled it, and then I put the center here. So the center is the middle of the cross, but this is an inch wide, and so you're not really going to be able to measure center exactly. And so I did 1/2 inch on each side of the center, and that will keep it still center. So I just line up with the square there, and then you know where center is. And the biggest thing, make sure you weld this small piece before you weld this big piece. Because you weld this, good luck welding inside of that. So weld this one first. Got her all welded up. Now just for the last piece of the puzzle. Just like that, except straight. Tack her on. Okay, got it solid weld up. I did 1 layer and then I did a 2nd layer because I wanted to cover my cold lap that I made, and I made more cold lap. But like I said, it's not structural, it's just holding up a tree, tiny little tree, so I'm fine with it. So, take it out of the vise, go over here, so like that, take your tree, ta-da, just like that, got your tree holder. You dump water in here, it'll fill right up, perfect.